an optimized product page, sponsored products, and finding the perfect product. If you can do these three things, you can make a full-time income off of Amazon. And in this video, I'm gonna go in depth on how to do all three of these things. Plus, since it is Tactical Vlog Thursday, I wanna show you a day in the life of my life, as well as my favorite thing to do in Santa Monica, and what I consider to be the best ice cream spot in all of Los Angeles. So let's get into the tactics. Today's the kind of day I dreamed about back when I had a corporate job 6-7 years ago. And I'm gonna show you all this, not to brag, not for any of those kind of reasons, but hopefully to show you what is possible. Because after I quit my corporate job, I struggled for a long time, and I kind of thought that all those successful entrepreneurs were lying to me or something like that. And that's why I compiled what I think the 3 biggest keys to success on Amazon are. And that's why I wanna share this with you. I think by the end of this video, you're gonna be way fast tracked. If I would have known these 3 secrets, it would have saved me years of struggling. I don't make it to the beach every morning, but this is one of the things I'm trying to do more often, is take some time and come down here and enjoy the beach in Santa Monica. I was gonna say my favorite thing to do in Santa Monica is the farmer's market, which I'll take you up to in just a minute. But the truth is, this is by far, in my opinion, the best thing to do if you ever do find yourself in Santa Monica, is come down to the beach. And there's some areas that are pretty deserted. As you can see, it's a Wednesday morning and there's not a ton of people out here. The first real step is finding the product to sell, finding what product you want to sell. And I'm gonna talk about that in depth later in this video, but for now, I'll assume you already have a product, you already have an idea of what to sell, and let's talk about how to optimize your product page. Your product page is everything. If you set it up properly, it lets Amazon know what your product's about, and it'll rank you higher up in the searches, giving you more sales. Also, using the different secrets I'm gonna share with you, if you set up your product page properly, customers will see it. And remember, that's how customers interact with your product. They'll see it and they'll be more likely to buy. And I've spent a long time figuring out how do you optimize a product page. And I'm gonna share everything with you right now. That's everybody going off to their job today. And when I see things like this, it just reminds me of how lucky I am to be able to spend my day doing more or less whatever I want. And in my opinion, this is the hardest part and probably the most important part of setting up your Amazon product page, is the keyword research. You can use tools like the Google Keyword Planner, Jungle Scout, or just use your own imagination and look at your competitors. You're then gonna use those keywords to make a title. And this is important because it lets Amazon know what search terms to rank your product for. And it also lets people know that are buying your product what it's about. You're also gonna use those keywords to create your bullet points, which again lets Amazon know which search results that you should show up, your product should show up for. But it also helps people know about your product, because that's one of the things people will look at before they buy is the bullet points. So make sure you highlight the benefits of your product. One of the most important parts of your Amazon product page is the image, the main image. The main image is what determines whether or not someone clicks on your product page, and it's ultimately what determines whether or not someone buys your product. So some quick tips: I like to use computer rendered images. You can get a much higher quality, like a really good looking image. It looks better than just a professional photographer a lot of times, and it's a lot cheaper. You also want to make sure your main image has as little white space as possible. This will make the image look bigger and it'll make it stand out and pop. All the other images on your Amazon product page are also extremely important. You want to show your product from multiple angles. You want to show your product in action, show the benefits of your product. You want your customers, before they buy on Amazon, to know what it's going to be like to own your product. This is my yoga studio, and it's right by the farmer's market. So my goal is to start coming here every morning on Wednesdays and then hit up the farmer's market afterwards and make myself a good lunch. 4 other things you can do to optimize your product page. But before I get into that, I wanted to show you what I got from the market. For Ariana, I got some focaccia bread. She loves this stuff, so I got some for her. So, I mean, some kale, pretty boring stuff, and carrots. But I'm gonna use these to make breakfast, which for breakfast, I'm gonna have some eggs. And I bought some fancy $10 a dozen eggs. They're sprout fed, pasture raised. Are they worth $10 a dozen? I don't know, we're gonna find out. In my opinion, the most important part of a product page is the reviews. And it's why you're at least mildly curious what $10 a dozen eggs taste like. If I were to say that these eggs changed my life and it was the best thing I ever had, you'd probably think, okay, well, $10 a dozen isn't too bad. But if I say they taste the same as any other kind of eggs, you're probably gonna say to yourself, I'm not gonna waste my money. And the same thing is true on Amazon. Remember, people aren't able to try the product until they buy it, and that scares people. So if you can alleviate some of that fear by doing everything we talked about, plus trying to get as good of reviews as possible, you're gonna have a much easier time getting people to purchase your product. And part of this is what we'll talk about later, and that's making a good product. But there are some tricks on how to get reviews. And by far, my favorite one on how to get a lot of 5-star reviews is a product launch group. And it's one of the only ways that I know of that's still within the terms and service. A product launch group will get you a ton of reviews right away, a ton of sales on your product right away. I'll link a video up here and down below. This is what I did for my product, and this is how I was able to, within a month or two of launching my product, be doing $30,000, $40,000 revenue on one single product. By the way, the eggs are good. Not sure if they're $10 a dozen good. Let's get into the second secret, and that is sponsored products, or Amazon's PPC. Again, there's sponsored products and sponsored brands. Within sponsored products, you can do either keyword targeting or product targeting. And product targeting is something that I wasn't doing up until relatively recently. This is where you can show up, your ad can show up on other people's, your competitors' product page. This has been hugely profitable for me. One quick tip here is you can actually target entire categories. So if you're not sure if a category will work for you, target that whole category. And once you find products within that category that are successful and are working, take that product and make a separate campaign where you're only targeting that product so you can fine tune and adjust the bids. I also recommend doing the same thing with keyword targeting. Start with the automatic campaign and broad match, but once you find winners, put those winners as negative keywords here and put them in their own separate campaign so you can fine tune and dial in that bid price. And as I mentioned, there's also sponsored brands, and these are the banner ads you see at the top of search results. But to be honest, you need to have 3 SKUs to set those up, and right now I only have 1 SKU and I can't use those, so I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on that. I wanna get into the last secret, and what I think is the most important secret, and that's picking the right product, picking the perfect product. And I'm very open on what products I sell, and I do know that a lot of private labelers on YouTube won't share what they'll sell, but I'm gonna even do one better today. I'm gonna show you what the next product I'm gonna sell is going to be. Right now, I actually wanted to do a little bit of reading, and I just got back from a 10-day yoga retreat, and there was a few big takeaways from the yoga retreat, but one of them was that I want to do more reading. I did this exercise where you write out what does your ideal day look like? And I realized for me, part of my ideal day was to do some reading. So I decided every Wednesday, in addition to the yoga farmers market, I want to spend the morning doing reading. Because I do think it's very important to sharpen your axe. Like if you're constantly just working and not learning new information, then you're gonna eventually dull the blade of your axe. And so I picked the book Launch, which is actually a perfect book for anybody out there that is looking to launch an Amazon product. This is partially where I got the idea of the product launch group. But a big reason why I'm reading this book is I'm gonna be launching a course on how to create your own passion product, which is something that nobody that I've seen has done yet. Everybody's done private labeling courses, but nobody's done a course on how to create a product from scratch, like a real unique product. If you're interested, I'm gonna be launching it in June. If you wanna get on the waiting list, I'll put a link down below and up here for that. But right after I'm done reading, I wanna show you what my next product's gonna be and show you step by step how I figured out that this is gonna be my next product. This is my new product that I'm gonna be launching in a few months, and I think it's a good example of how you should actually do product research. So there's a few different things you should do, and don't just copy what everybody else is doing. I see a lot of private label people teaching, oh, just find an existing product and make a better Amazon page, which gives you a little bit of an advantage, but that's not a very big moat around your castle. You wanna create something, in my opinion, that doesn't yet exist, and that's this product. The original performance nut butter product I had was a good example of that. There wasn't a high quality, healthy fat snack on the market, and something that was geared and targeted towards athletic type people, people that really want to eat health conscious. So I figured I'm gonna create that. And then with this product, this is actually gonna be performance nut butter chocolate version or a cacao version. And it's gonna be, you know, the original performance nut butter mixed with cacao. And right now there are chocolate flavored nut butters on the market, but they're full of artificial sweeteners, they're full of sugar, they're full of a bunch of chemicals, and I want to create something that's different, that's all natural. When you're doing product research and trying to create a product, I think whatever product you decide on should check at least 2 boxes. One, it should be a product that doesn't already exist. If there's already products out there like it, you're taking a pie that's this big and you're just trying to get a little chunk of it. Instead, what you should do is try to create a new pie. This is called the blue ocean strategy. So that's the first box, create something new, unique. And it sounds so obvious to say it, but again, a lot of the private labeling that I see being done is just ripping off existing products and trying to brand it slightly different. But the second thing, and something that I think is really important as well, is it should be something that you wish existed. I spent the first 4 or 5 years of my entrepreneurial journey selling dance clothing, something I didn't know anything about, something that I was not passionate about. And at first it was kind of cool because I was starting an online business, but quickly it became really draining, and it's a lot tougher. As someone that's done both a business just for the money and one that I'm actually passionate about, it makes a huge difference, because when I was starting this company, I already knew what the target demographic wanted because I was the target demographic. I knew, you know, who the different influencers were in the space. I knew the different lingo to use. So today I'm trying out some different samples, doing some different ratios for the new Cacao PNB. I'll be launching in a few months. And again, make sure you subscribe because I'm gonna be showing you everything I do to launch this product. But let me dive in a little bit deeper into product research and explain how you can find the perfect product for you. Ariana should be home in just a few minutes, which means that I get to go and show you, and we're gonna go to what I think is the best ice cream spot in all of Los Angeles. Ariana just got home and she brought with her a lot of boxes of Vino cards, and this is her passion product. And we have to send in more. It's doing pretty well on Amazon, and because it's doing decently, we have to send in some more boxes.
So I'm going to tag them with Amazon stickers and then send them out this week.
So we're gonna go to our favorite ice cream shop, and this is a place we've been going every month for the last 1.5 years or so, and they've always got new flavors out every month. But before we do that, we're both gonna go get some exercise and have some dinner, and so we'll see you in a second. My last big tip for you is, of course, create a passion product, which is what I wish I would have done 6 years ago. And I'll link a video down below here on how the formula on how to create your own passion product, like step by step. It's pretty easy to do. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, remember to enjoy the journey.